So here is my substrate. This is about 8.5 by 11. I thought that would be a little bit easier size to deal with some of the things that I've printed off from the internet. So one of the first tulips that I found, tulip reference, is this double here. I really like the shape, I like the simplicity. I don't like the shape of this tulip here though. So what I've done was I've printed this out a couple times, as you can see here. And I've also found other tulips that I like the design of as well. And lo and behold, they're the same color. So one thing I really wanted to do and start out with is this is where you really can be creative. So you can take this reference and then start making it your own. So for instance, here I really like this tulip and I like this shape. I don't like the shape of this tulip, but I like how it bends over to the right. So one of my other tulips that I had found on my reference, I went ahead and cut it out. I could place it right on top of here, and so that would give me a slightly different tulip shape. You would have to adjust the stem, but that's okay. That's something we can deal with in a little bit. The other thing that I really liked is some of these leaves. I like the shape of them. Now that's not going to take up the entire design of this. These are going to be your focal points, and then we'll worry about the background and what's going to go into the background later, although you probably have a good idea in your mind what you want the background to look like at this point. So I have cut out a few different leaves. Like I really like the shape of this leaf, maybe putting it in here, but then I don't really like the way it's all leaning. So we can switch it around. We can fill up the page a little bit more. We can even add other tulips into it if you care to do that. So here I've got another, the flip side of this one. And I really like how that's going to move around and get my eye moving around the picture. So let me cut this out a little bit more. And again, I still don't like the shape of this particular tulip. But I think I'd like a tulip coming in, somehow breaking this up a little bit. So let's see what we can do with this. Maybe we can have this looking in the other direction. Now no, all of this in the background, once we get this down on our substrate, we're only going to be using the outlines and the shapes of these leaves. And then again, we'll fill in the background with everything else. So I really like that, but as I stated before, I really want a butterfly in there. So I have done several different printouts of butterflies in different sizes and different shapes and different directions. So you can take these and just move them around to see which suits you best. I really like the angle of this butterfly. Sorry, this curled a little bit. I like how this one shows a not standard angle of a butterfly. So it's not a typical wing placement. So let's try to just imagine it sitting on top of a tulip or flying above a tulip. And I think I will bring this down a little bit. As far as this type of orientation, once we tape this down and we know pretty much how we're gonna lay things out, then we determine, okay, how it is going to be oriented on your substrate. I do want to let you know this substrate is 3/4 inch MDF, which is a typical press board. It works really well for mosaics. It doesn't have any give to it at all, and that's really important when you're doing mosaics. You don't want to put it on anything that has any give. This does do well with grout. The glue that's used is a water-based glue, but it is not intended for outdoor use. There are different substrates you can get out there if you wanted outdoor use. So let's say I wanted my butterfly to hover over this tulip right here. So what I do is I just lightly tack down how I would like things so they don't move around. Just a little bit of tape here and there so things don't wiggle or move too much as you're tracing these out. So I really like this, and I think it's going to make a lovely design. And if you're buying the package of glass through Amazon, this design will be included with that purchase.